Hello all, hope you're doing well today. Today we are continuing our conversation in chapter 7. This is part 2, and we're talking more about capital improvement as well as flooring. Here we go. So our objectives are to understand the significance of capital improvement planning as well as to understand the different types of indoor flooring and analyze the advantages and disadvantages of synthetic fields. A capital improvement project refers to a major non-recurring expenditure that involves land acquisition. You're purchasing land for a sport facility project. It could be new construction and expansion. So you're building new public facilities that would include new water lines and play fields, or you're extending existing ones. It could be major repairs and rehabilitation on a large scale, costing $25,000 or more and lasting 10 years or more, such as roof replacements or HVAC system updates. And equipment purchases. You're buying major equipment like cardio or strength equipment valued at $25,000 or more and with a minimum lifespan of 5 years. Now, your project studies includes conducting planning, feasibility, engineering, and or design studies related to specific capital improvement projects. These projects aim to enhance the infrastructure, facilities, and public services through long-term investments. A capital improvement plan, or CIP, plays a critical role in ensuring the long-term development, maintenance, and sustainability of infrastructure and services. Here's how it fits into the broader framework of planning and budgeting. You have your comprehensive plan that represents the overarching vision for the sports facility's long-term development. This plan outlines the priorities for not only the facility itself, but also for the surrounding infrastructure, community needs, and future growth. For a sports facility, this would include considerations like expanding or upgrading existing fields, building new multi-sport complexes, or adding amenities like fitness centers or spectator seating. The comprehensive plan ensures the facility meets the evolving demands of athletes, the community, and any future trends in sport fitness. The strategic plan translates the big picture goals of the comprehensive plan into actionable steps. In the context of sports facilities, this could involve setting specific goals for expanding the types of sports offered, enhancing accessibility for all community members, and improving safety measures or upgrading existing flooring or turf systems. The strategic plan helps break down the broad goals into smaller achievable initiatives, such as improving indoor sports flooring, installing synthetic turf fields, or investing in energy efficient lighting or outdoor courts. The capital needs study and affordability analysis. In this particular stage, it identifies the specific infrastructure improvements required for the facility. So a capital needs study would assess the condition of the indoor flooring, synthetic fields, and other key infrastructure. And this study evaluates the need for repairs or upgrades and identifies what improvements are critical to maintaining a high quality facility for athletes. An affordability analysis is then conducted to determine whether the needed improvements can be financially supported by the facility's budget, considering both current revenue and potential funding sources. The capital improvement plan is where the strategic goals are translated into concrete structured plans for implementation. For a sports facility, this plan would include the funding and execution of projects like resurfacing or recoating wood floors, upgrading synthetic turf systems. The CIP outlines the timeline, cost, and specific steps needed for each project. From initial design to completion, it ensures the facility's infrastructure improvements are carried out in a phased, prioritized, and budget-conscious manner. Now, the long-term operation budget plan, after all the capital investments are made, this long-term operation budget plan ensures that the facility's day-to-day operations can continue smoothly. It balances the cost of capital improvements with the ongoing costs of maintenance, staffing, utilities, and other operational expenses. This includes maintaining the flooring systems, turf surfaces, and ensuring that the infrastructure remains functional over time. The operating budget ensures that after the new flooring is installed and the field is upgraded, there are sufficient funds for ongoing cleaning, maintenance, and repair. Now, the capital budget and operating budget, the capital budget is informed by the CIP, which allocates funds for large-scale infrastructure projects like turf replacements or facility expansions. It focuses on long-term capital expenditures. The operating budget, in contrast, ensures the facility's continued functionality and maintenance. It provides the necessary funds for routine upkeep, such as daily sweeping of wood floors or infill replenishment of the synthetic turf. Together, these two budgets ensure that the facility can grow and improve while remaining financially sustainable in the long run. So the CIP bridges strategic planning and budgeting, ensuring that the sports facilities make financially viable investments in infrastructure which support athletes and community members for years to come. It helps prioritize projects, ensuring that the necessary upgrades are made first while evaluating both the affordability and the operational impact of the improvements. The capital and operating budgets work together to ensure both are developed and maintained effectively, ensuring a balanced approach to short-term functionality and long-term growth. In short, capital improvement planning is essential for sport facilities to thrive over time, ensuring that key infrastructure like flooring and synthetic fields is developed and maintained in a way that supports the needs and provides a safe, sustainable environment for play. Creating a capital improvement plan, or CIP, involves a structured process to ensure that capital projects are strategically aligned with the facility's goals, operational needs, and financial capacity. Here are the 5 key steps to develop a CIP. First, you have the project submission. And so your departments, facility managers, and relevant stakeholders submit proposals for capital projects based on identified infrastructure needs. This could include projects like resurfacing wood floors, upgrading synthetic turf, enhancing lighting systems, or adding new amenities. The purpose of this is to capture all necessary improvements or expansions that will ensure the facility can meet the needs of athletes, the community, and future development. Stakeholders may include the facility staff, coaches, athletes, and community groups. Then it goes into an evaluation and selection process. They are all evaluated using specific criteria, such as this is urgent, how critical the project is to the safety, functionality, or compliance of the facility. Is it feasible? The practicality of completing the project, considering available resources, timelines, and technical requirements, and its alignment with strategic goals, whether the project supports the broader goals of the sports facility or community, such as enhancing accessibility, improving safety, or increasing capacity. Again, the purpose is to prioritize projects, select those that provide the greatest benefit and align with the facility's long-term vision. The next step is financial analysis. This is where detailed cost estimates are developed for each project. It includes upfront costs, projected long-term maintenance expenses, and any ongoing operational impacts. Additionally, sources of funding such as grants, bonds, or general revenue are identified. It ensures that the project is financially viable and evaluates the long-term sustainability of the project to prevent future financial strain. Now you go into plan preparation. This is stage 4. And here you go into the selected projects along with timelines, funding allocations, and specific project details. The plan can be broken down into short-term and long-term projects and includes staging for major undertakings. So this would be phased improvements over several years. This document serves as a framework for implementing the identified projects and helps to align your resources, secure funding, and set expectations for when the project will be completed, whether it's upgrading the flooring or expanding field capacity. And then the last stage is review and adoption. So the draft CIP is presented to governing bodies. This could be the sports facility management team or city council or even board of directors for final review and approval. During this stage, stakeholders may provide feedback, make adjustments, and approve the final version of the plan. This ensures that the CIP has the full support of decision makers and that it complies with any legal or financial guidelines. Once approved, the plan is ready for implementation with timelines and funding in place for the selected capital project. A work order is a formal request that communicates information about services or goods needed, typically used in maintenance, repairs, or project management. There are different types of work orders. The first is emergency. This requires immediate attention to prevent hazards or major disruptions. It's urgent. This needs to be completed soon, but it's not necessarily an immediate threat. And routine. This is regular maintenance or scheduled work that ensures smooth operations. Now, there are modern systems, computer-based or mobile applications that streamline work order management by enabling assignment and scheduling. So it automatically assigns tasks to the right personnel. And you're able to get updates on the job progress and completion. It is also helpful in tracking efficiency, costs, and trends over time. Outsourcing custodial and housekeeping services is becoming a common practice due to cost efficiency and productivity concerns. Some key reasons for outsourcing is cost reduction. Hiring in-house staff costs on average is about 23% more than contract cleaning services due to the wages and benefits and administrative expenses associated with in-house maintenance. You also have productivity issues. In-house custodians may perform below industry standards, leading to inefficiencies and training limitations. The budget constraints often result in insufficient training, reducing service quality. There are potential benefits of outsourcing. You have access to trained professionals using modern cleaning techniques, lower overhead costs, so you don't have to worry about payroll, insurance, or equipment, and the scalability, your ability to adjust services based on demand. While outsourcing is a cost-effective solution, in-house custodial operations offer several key benefits as well. Ownership and accountability. Staff members take greater responsibility for the facility's cleanliness and maintenance. Pride in their work. Employees often feel a stronger connection to their workplace, leading to higher service quality. Security and trust. In-house staff undergo background checks and are familiar faces, enhancing building security. And flexibility, immediate response to emergencies and customized cleaning schedules based on institutional needs. And they have institutional knowledge. So long-term employees develop a deep understanding of the facility's layout, the needs, and maintenance history, leading to efficient operations. When choosing flooring for spaces like gyms, courts, tracks, or other athletic areas, you want to consider the ease of installation. It's important for both initial setup and potential future upgrades. Modular flooring options such as interlocking tiles or roll-out rubber flooring can be installed quickly and with minimal disruption. You also have to consider time and labor. Facilities that need frequent updates or changes, such as gyms that switch from basketball courts to fitness areas, may prefer flooring that's quicker to install or can be easily adjusted. And then the aesthetics of it all. You look at the style and branding. The floor should align with the facility's aesthetic and branding. High traffic areas like basketball courts or gymnasium often have custom logos or colors incorporated into their flooring, such as palm trees. The visual appeal. Flooring can enhance the overall atmosphere of the facility, whether you want to evoke energy in a fitness center or a more professional, polished look in a performance arena. You also have to consider the maintenance, the cleaning of the facility. and the floors and how easy it is to clean and maintain, especially in high sweat areas like gyms or swimming pools. Flooring like vinyl or rubber mats can be cleaned efficiently without requiring frequent professional maintenance. Floors that are easy to maintain and resist damage from equipment, high foot traffic, and weather for outdoor courts or fields reduce ongoing costs. And the durability. Think about the traffic and wear that the athletic floors are going to withstand. So that high impact and heavy foot traffic. For example, gymnasium floors and basketball courts require durable hardwood or synthetic surfaces, while weight rooms benefit from shock-absorbent rubber flooring to protect both athletes and the equipment. You also think about the wear resistance. Flooring should be able to resist damage from equipment like weights, sleds, and resistance machines in fitness areas or outdoor conditions like weather, moisture, and UV light for outdoor tracks or courts. And then the performance. And think about comfort and support in this situation. So the flooring should offer proper support for athletes. For instance, hardwood or synthetic surfaces for basketball courts provide the right balance between shock absorption and rebound for optimal performance. Also consider the surface texture. The flooring needs to provide enough traction to prevent slipping during high-intensity sports like indoor soccer or gymnastics, while still allowing athletes to move freely. And then lastly, costs. Now, you have to break that down into the initial cost of installation, as well as the thinking about the higher end materials like hardwood or polyurethane that can be expensive but may be necessary for specific sports or long-term durability. And then the long-term investment. So many different events or classes, investing in high quality flooring may reduce long-term repair and replacement costs, especially if the flooring can accommodate various types of sports. And then safety, slip resistance. So ensuring that the flooring offers good grip is vital for safety, especially in areas prone to moisture, such as gym floors or swimming pool decks. Non-slip coatings or textured flooring should be used in places like locker rooms, bathrooms, and wet areas. Shock absorption. The floors in areas like fitness rooms, weightlifting zones, or gymnasiums need adequate shock absorption to reduce the risk of injuries from falls or high-impact activities. Materials like rubber or cork are often preferred in these settings. And injury prevention. Properly cushioned and durable flooring, such as those found on indoor tracks or gym floors, is crucial in reducing the risk of stress injuries from repetitive movements. So by considering these factors in a sports context, you can ensure that the flooring supports athlete performance, enhances their safety, and aligns with the long-term needs of the facility. When evaluating sports flooring, there are several performance criteria that are essential to ensure the floor meets the needs of athletes, improves safety, and enhances performance. Here's a breakdown of those key factors. Shock absorption. Shock absorption measures the floor's ability to reduce the impact force during activities like jumping or falling. Higher shock absorption reduces the risk of long-term injuries such as stress fractures, joint damage, or muscle strain. This is particularly important for sports involving frequent jumping or high-impact movements like basketball or volleyball. The goal is to have a balance where the floor absorbs enough impact to protect the athletes, but not so much that it hampers performance. Vertical deformation. This measures how much the floor gives or deforms when an athlete lands or falls. It's the floor's ability to compress slightly under pressure and then return to its original shape. The right amount of vertical deformation helps athletes land safely without excessive strain on their joints or muscles. Too much deformation, like running on sand, can lead to inefficiency in movement, while too little can cause immediate injuries from hard impact. Ball bounce. This criteria assesses how the ball behaves when it hits the floor, specifically its rebound height and consistency. A floor that offers good ball bounce is critical for sports like basketball, volleyball, and tennis, where precision and ball movement is key to gameplay. A consistent and predictable bounce ensures fair play and enhances performance. The sliding effect, which is a coefficient of friction, refers to how much grip the floor provides. It measures how easily an athlete can move, pivot, or slide on the surface without slipping. It provides an optimal level of grip to allow for safe and efficient movement in all directions. Too much friction could hinder quick pivots and change of direction, while too little could lead to slipping and potential injuries. These criteria ensure that the floor is not only safe, but also enhances athletic performance. Balancing shock absorption, deformation, ball bounce, and friction is crucial for providing a safe and functional environment for athletes. Maintaining wood floors is crucial for preserving their longevity, ensuring safety, and providing the best performance for athletes. And this is just a breakdown of the maintenance tasks that's required. Daily sweeping and or mopping is essential to remove the dirt, dust, and debris that can scratch or damage the wood. It helps maintain a clean and smooth playing surface. For best practices, use a soft bristled broom or dust mop for sweeping to avoid scratching the wood. For mopping, use a damp mop, not soaking wet, with a wood floor cleaner that is safe for sports surfaces, such as excessive moisture that can warp or damage the wood. Weekly scrubbing helps to improve more stubborn dirt, grime, or buildup that regular sweeping and mopping can't handle. And for best practices, you want to use a gentle scrub brush or microfiber mop with a wood safe cleaner, ensuring that the cleaning solution is appropriate for high traffic areas and doesn't leave any residue behind that can make the floor sticky or slippery. And you always want to make sure that you're using what the manufacturer recommends. And then yearly refinishing. So that annual finishing helps to maintain the wood's protective layer, restoring its shine and protect it from wear and tear caused by constant use. This is especially important for sports floors which experience heavy foot traffic. You'll notice that in Dugan Wellness Center and in Island Hall Gym and the fitness rooms that they'll refinish the floors every year. For best practice, you always apply a wood floor finish or sealant that's appropriate for the sport facility. It provides that fresh protective layer that helps the wood resist scratches, dents, and moisture damage. Now, recoating is a midlife refreshment for the floor to restore its protective coating and finish without the need for full refinishing. It's typically done when the finish starts to show wear, but before the wood has been seriously damaged. And here you lightly sand the surface to remove any dirt or imperfections and then apply a new layer or finish. Recoating usually involves applying a polyurethane or acrylic-based finish designed for high-performance surfaces. For recoating sport floors with basketball, volleyball courts, here your recoating with paint is essential to maintaining the markings, the court boundaries, the logos that guide gameplay. The paint should be refreshed periodically to ensure visibility and precision. You reapply the paint markings after recoating the floor with a protective layer, and use paint designed for gym floors that can withstand heavy foot traffic and resist chipping or fading. For refinishing, this is the most intensive maintenance task, and it's typically done every 5 to 7 years, or when the floor shows significant signs of wear. This process removes old finishes, restores the wood's appearance, and repairs any deep scratches or damage. You got to sand down the entire floor surface to remove the old finish and smooth out scratches. After sanding, you apply multiple coats of high quality finish to restore the wood's protective layer and sheen. Refinishing is a job that does require professional help to ensure it's done properly and to avoid damaging the floor. By following consistent maintenance schedule, wood floors can remain in excellent condition for many years, ensuring safety for athletes and maintaining the aesthetic appeal and durability of the floor. When installing wood flooring in a sports facility, particularly on concrete surfaces, it's important to select the right type of subfloor system to ensure the floor's performance, durability, and comfort for athletes. This is just an overview of the subfloor systems. Typically, there are 3 types of subfloors. The first of those is the anchored subfloor. In this system, the top layer of maple flooring is directly anchored to the concrete base using fasteners or adhesive. The concrete provides a solid foundation, while the fasteners, like nails or staples or adhesives, securely hold the wood in place. There are advantages to this in that it adds stability to a very rigid surface and reduces any movement in the wood floor. It's also a good option for areas with heavy foot traffic, as the floor will be securely fastened and resistant to shifting or warping. Some considerations are it lacks flexibility, so the rigidity of an anchored floor system might result in reduced shock or absorption and comfort compared to floating systems. And moisture management. Concrete floors can trap moisture, so proper moisture barriers or vapor retarders are critical to prevent potential wood damage. Now, a floating subfloor is not mechanically anchored to the concrete base. Instead, it's installed over a system of wood and or synthetic pads. These pads provide resilience and cushioning, allowing the floor to float above the concrete. Now, advantages to this are shock absorption and comfort. It's typically preferred for sports facilities as it offers better resistance, cushioning, and shock absorption, which is important for athlete safety and flexibility and performance. It's also flexible in terms of expansion and contraction of the wood, making it easier to deal with changes in temperature and humidity. Now, there are some other considerations in that it's not anchored, and so there is the potential for movement, especially under heavy load or over time. This system typically requires more maintenance and may need to be checked periodically to ensure the integrity of the floor. It can also be more challenging to install due to the need for proper padding, leveling, and alignment of the materials. Now, there's a hybrid, which is an anchored floating subfloor. And here is where the top layer of maple flooring is anchored to a subsystem made of wood and or synthetic padding, which is then anchored to the concrete base. This approach combines the stability of anchored systems with the cushioning of floating system. That's what you're seeing here, is that the anchor, it's kind of that hybrid system. It's a combination of resilient subflooring and the anchoring of the top layer that provides a balance of comfort and durability, making it ideal for sports flooring with both safety and performance are critical. It also helps maintain stability while offering more resilient support, improving athletic performance, and reducing impact-related injuries. Now, there are other considerations with that, in that it tends to be more expensive by nature. It requires more material and labor compared to simpler anchored or floating systems. And the process may take longer, as it needs to be properly installed and anchored before the top layer is secured. Synthetic turf requires different care compared to natural grass, and it's important to address specific aspects of maintenance to preserve its quality. Here's an overview of the key maintenance tasks for synthetic turf. Over time, the infill, which is usually rubber, sand, or a combination, can settle or degrade, affecting the turf's performance. Adding additional infill helps maintain the proper texture, cushioning, and stability of the surface, ensuring that athletes have the right amount of traction and comfort during play. Regularly, you should inspect the turf for areas where the infill has worn down or become uneven, spreading additional infill in those areas to maintain a consistent playing surface. And synthetic turf can become very hot in direct sunlight, especially in our warmer climate. It can be up to 120 degrees out there in August. So irrigating the surface with water helps cool it down, reducing the risk of heat-related injuries and making it more comfortable for athletes. So for best practice, set up a watering system or use temporary sprinklers to periodically irrigate the turf during hot weather, ensuring that the water doesn't saturate the surface, as excess moisture can lead to drainage issues or damage the turf. Chemical disinfectants. Synthetic turf can accumulate bacteria, fungi, and other pathogens, especially in high-use areas. So using chemical disinfectants ensure that the turf remains hygienic and free from harmful organisms that could impact players' health. So for best practice, choose disinfectants that are safe for synthetic surfaces and avoid harsh chemicals that could degrade the turf. Apply the disinfectant periodically, particularly in high traffic or high moisture areas like goal boxes or sidelines. And then sprays to reduce static and odor. Synthetic turf can sometimes build up static electricity, which can be uncomfortable for athletes and affect the playability of the field. Additionally, organic material and moisture can lead to odors. Specialized sprays can help reduce static and neutralize odors, making the turf more comfortable and pleasant to use. So for best practice, use an anti-static spray and odor neutralizer to design specifically for our artificial turf. Apply these treatments after heavy use, rain, or when the turf has been exposed to intense sun for extended periods. And then drainage repairs. Proper drainage is crucial for synthetic turf, as standing water can lead to issues like mold growth, turf damage, and reduced performance. Ensuring that the drainage system is functioning properly helps maintain a safe and high-performing playing surface. Regularly inspect the turf for any signs of water pooling or slow drainage, and check the underlying drainage system for blockages or wear and tear, and make repairs as needed to ensure water flows off the field efficiently. And temporary lines. In sports like soccer, field, or rugby, markings for the field are essential for proper gameplay. Temporary line markings are used to delineate boundaries and positions for different events or games. In this case, use non-toxic, turf-safe paint or marking systems to temporarily create lines. These markings should be easily removable to avoid permanent staining or damage to the turf, and they should not interfere with the performance or appearance of the field. And then removal of organic matter. Even though synthetic turf is designed to resist organic growth, debris such as leaves, twigs, and dirt can still accumulate. And if it's not removed regularly, the organic material can affect the appearance of the field and in some cases lead to drainage issues or harbor bacteria. So use a blower or rake to remove organic debris from the surface and avoid using tools that could damage the fibers of the turf. Regular maintenance helps keep the field clean and ensures optimal performance. In summary, capital improvement planning refers to the process of identifying, prioritizing, and budgeting for long-term upgrades or repairs to a facility. This strategic approach ensures that a facility's infrastructure remains functional, safe, and efficient while accommodating growing needs and adapting to technological advancements. The planning process involves forecasting future needs, evaluating current conditions, and allocating resources to avoid costly emergency repairs and to extend the lifespan of the facility. In sport facilities, capital improvement planning often includes updates to flooring, lighting, HVAC systems, and other key infrastructures to support high usage and meet industry standards. When planning for a sports facility flooring or synthetic turf needs, it's important to balance your long-term costs, safety, and specific requirements of the sports being played. While synthetic fields offer durability and low maintenance benefits, they come with upfront costs and potentially safety concerns that need to be carefully managed. Similarly, indoor flooring choices must account for the type of sport, the performance, and required maintenance levels. Capital improvement planning should prioritize these factors, ensuring the facility remains both functional and safe for athletes over time. And that is all that I have for you today. Have a great day. I look forward to talking with you soon.